It was, luckily it was in the body shop. It was, you know, away from the front. But boy, it was a lot of damage, a lot of smoke, a lot of fire. It was kind of spooky there for, you know, a few minutes.
Well, wasn't that about the time they moved out on Scottsville Pike?
Yeah, then they moved further out.
Right.
You know, and at the time we're like, good gracious, you know, they're moving way out in the country. You know, of course it's not now, but at that time, you know, that was like way out. And, you know, when I was a kid, when you got to Lock 4 Road, I think that was the city limits at that time.
That was it.
You know, and there was nothing. I mean, there were some houses, but other than that, there wasn't anything any further out, hardly out that way. Once you got to Lock 4 Road, you was in the country. I mean, it was pitch black out there almost. We'd go to, sometimes to Madison Square and to Zayre's to get school clothes. And, you know, that was like an all-day trip, seemed like, you know, just driving to Madison.
Well, we'd drive down to go to Shoney's to get a piece of strawberry pie.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Shoney's was there in Madison?
Yeah.
Of course, we had the Dairy Queen and the Dairy Dip that were here in town. There was one on South Water.
Yeah, Sands.
And then there was the one out on North Water at the end of North
From
Water.
Dick's Drive-In, I guess.
It was a Dairy Dip for a while or something like that. But anyway, and then you had...
And then Oaks,
they
you know,
moved
had
out here.
right there beside McDonald's.
Right. And that was where you went to mess around in your car and quarter.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just make your circle around town pretty well. And that's about all there was to do, seemed like, on Friday and Saturday night. Or go down to Madison Square, drive around the square if you had a nice car. Luckily I did. I had a really nice car.
Yeah.
But you know, I was working and I was paying for it, and
sure.
So you take care of it better when you pay for it yourself.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun around here. You know, back then, you know, there probably wasn't about 8 or 10 cops, maybe at the most. And of course, I had a '69 Roadrunner with a 446 pack in it, and most of the cops knew me on a first name basis.
Oh, they all knew us.
That ain't something to be proud of, but they knew we were good kids. We just, you know, we'd like to kind of take off kind of fast. But as far as high speed kind of driving, we didn't do that too much. But we sure like taking off fast.
Sure, sure enough.
But yeah, they knew all of us pretty well on a first name basis. But they were, you know, they were cool back then. They were, you know, they didn't hassle you and wear you out, you know. They just give you a ticket, go see Judge Dono, you know. And I think he knew me on a first name basis too, I think, just about. You know, it was, you knew when you was in the wrong.
Sure.
And, you know, and it was pretty plain. You know, you was in the wrong. You knew you was in the wrong. Just go ahead and give me my ticket. I'll go on to the courthouse and
take care
get it. Yeah, get it taken care of. They didn't hassle you or give you a hard time. They just gave you a ticket. You know, it's pretty plain, simple.
Did you know Mr. Joe St. Charles?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, you know, he had the little grocery there.
Right across from Howard School.
Howard School. So after school, you'd have to go across to get a lollipop.
Yeah, we got those the long straws that have Kool-Aid in them.
Right.
Oh man. Zip across there, get your 2 or 3 little straws of Kool-Aid, run back across the street, get on the bus, just in time right before he left. Mr. Keith was my bus driver. And he didn't fool around. If you wasn't on the bus, you got left behind. But those were the good old days.
Oh yeah.
Now your mom, she was my teacher. How long did she teach school?
Well, she taught about 20 years. Now she didn't teach when she first married and came to Gallatin in 38, 39. She taught at the high school for a year or two, and then when I came along in '40, she stopped teaching until there were three of us, and when the three of us got old enough to kind of take care of ourselves and so forth at school, she went back to teaching. And she taught.
I think I had her.
She taught world history and English.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if I had her in 10th grade. I want to say 10th grade.
That sounds about right.
10th or 11th, something like that. She was a real sweet lady.
Yeah, I grew up with a family of teachers. My aunt, Mary Albertson, taught first grade at Howard for a long time. And then I had another aunt, Minnesota Rutledge, who taught in some of the county schools for a while, and then went to Nashville and actually became a principal of one of the elementary schools in Nashville. Long career in education, the Nashville system.
My first grade teacher was Miss Burkhart, and she also taught my mother when she was in school.
That's it.
That was kind of neat.
Well, there was, Miss Hutton in high school, and she taught my father as well as myself. So,
my mother told me,
I couldn't get by with anything.
Oh yeah. My mother told me, she said, "You better behave. She'll break a pencil over your head." And I'm like, why? She said, "Because that's what she did to me." Since she broke a pencil over my head. So I guess she got her attention pretty quick. I had Miss Burkhart, and Miss Gillespie, and Miss Massey. That was my first, second, and third grade. And then I did one out to Guild. There was the two elementary schools, Guild and Lena Stewart. And of course, they were big rivals. Just typical, hometown rivals.
Sure.
And out there was 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And in fact, before they got the junior high built, there was 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th all out there. And they had a football team, I guess probably 9th graders, I guess, I don't know. And then they played Lena Stewart up at the high school on that field. And that was always a big rival.
Sure.
Yale School against Lena Stewart. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think I started at Lena Stewart when it opened up, and it was the 4th grade when I started at Lena Stewart, and I went through the 8th grade at Lena Stewart.
Y'all live out Dobbins Pike?
We lived on Dobbins Pike, so we were on the north side of town,
Mm-hmm.
and would naturally go to Lena Stewart rather than over to
Yeah, it's kind of neat having the older kids, because my brother he was 2 years ahead of me, so we were tied at the hip, everywhere he went I went, so I knew most of the people that he was in school with, and a lot of times would even leave my homeroom and come to his homeroom and just stay there until the bell rang and to go get on the bus. And so I knew, all the people that was in his class pretty well. And back then, you went to school from the first grade, except for, the elementary, which split them, I guess, by where you lived. You went to school with the same people from the first grade all the way through the 12th grade. You knew everybody from day one.
Well, we had a big influx in '51 when they started building the steam plant.
Yeah.
The TVA came to town, and so we had quite a few come in with TVA at that time, and a lot of them stayed, through high school, at least with me. And but that was an important progress, for this town to be able to have the